The Bobcats are halfway through their exhibition season, and already the injury bug has reared its ugly head, creating some headaches for the coaching staff.
Anytime you get those injuries, they're not something you want to see this time of year, especially in some of the younger guys that are competing for spots. And that can be the difference of making and breaking it if you go down with an injury. And we've already had 2 or 3 young guys that have had to go home and refocus for mid to AAA because they just weren't healthy enough to play.
However, it wasn't just the rookies affected by injuries. Taylor Mulder returns from the hospital and is sidelined for the rest of the preseason.
I just kind of shot the puck on net, and then someone came and hit me. I wasn't really expecting it, and I kind of just jammed my hand back, my left hand, and it felt like it snapped. My wrist snapped, but then I got to the bench and moved it around, and it wasn't too bad. I put some ice on it. I didn't really play at all for the rest of the game. And then I went to the hospital the next day, and it was more sore the next day. I couldn't really, no movement really, and it's getting pretty purple and swollen. I'm not looking forward to missing games. It sucks watching when you want to be out there so bad. But I guess you have to let it heal properly.
In Taylor's situation, he's a guy that we're pretty certain is going to be here and going to play here. He's going to have a spot in this team, but it also slows you down coming out of the gate.
The Bobcats do receive some good news. Jacob Lapointe is back on the ice after suffering a scare in Bonnyville.
Yeah, it's a great feeling knowing that I'm 100% again and I can play, and definitely feel like I'm getting my mojo back.
He had a chiropractor and back home that looked after it and kept it in pretty good repair, and probably that's something that'll be a part of it here as well. And I think if he gets the proper adjustments and ice properly and stretches properly, that it's not going to be a long-term thing and something that's going to hold him out of the lineup a lot.
For Lapointe, the game is a different change of pace, which comes with adjustments.
As a 16-year-old in this league, it's very tough. Like last year they had 2, and I remember both of them said that it was definitely a hard league to play in, and hopefully I'm ready to play, and I'd love to play here.
Lloydminster now face a familiar opponent in Whitecourt. The 2 teams are no strangers to confrontation, and despite it being an exhibition game, the coaching staff reiterates that this will not just be any other contest.
The last thing that Whitecourt's going to remember is they lost us in Game 5 and they had to go home. And I mean, the first game we played against Fort McMurray, you're going to see the same thing. It was Game 7 and they took it away from us, sent us home, and you always remember that. Find there's a little bit more of a competitive edge starting out a season when you're playing against a team that sent you home in the spring.
After sending a few players home in Chris Tye in the WHL, one cat came back. 16-year-old Pierce Diamond returns from a stint with the Saskatoon Blades during their main camp. Diamond and Ryan Terness are both in the lineup, battling for the backup job behind Devin Green. Tonight's game will be one the rookies won't forget. The Bobcats would open the scoring a few minutes in. Playing on the same line for the first time this preseason, Cameron Cito finds younger brother Chris. Just before the period is done, the Bobcats get another. 17-year-old Troy Van Teetering doubles the home team's lead. Oh! Which doesn't sit well with Whitecourt.
Couldn't get in there.
A few minor penalties were handed out, but a little spark before the end of the first carried over to the second. Bryce Woodward gets called for an interference penalty, leaving Lloydminster shorthanded. But like their last contest, they find ways to score. At the end of 2 periods, the Bobcats hold a 3-0 lead, but the team's kamikaze play at times has the coaching staff a little nervous going into the third.
We're short for 18 seconds. So we'll start with the Cetos up front, Point and Brennan on the back end. Couple things. Offensively, defense, if you got to run 20 feet to pinch, that's too far. What happens in that time?
Odd man, right?
That guy's got lots of time to get his head up and chip it by you, odd man rush. We don't mind you making a smart pitch. That's not a smart pitch, okay? We did a better job of getting some traffic to the net. Pucks are there. We gotta be smarter in terms of moving the puck quicker. Don't put yourself in position to take hits. Let the puck move, okay? Guys, gut check. Third period, we have to shut them down. Don't give them a sniff on coming back. And it starts with the first 18 seconds. So get the kill.
You're gonna have to make, right? Like, and be talking.
The Wolverines pull within 2 goals. Then, with under 5 to play, the Bobcats' 3-goal lead starts to dwindle. But seconds later, it's a veteran at the back end that provides insurance. Tyler Coons' goal, along with Van Tetering's second of the game, makes it 5-2.
Are they doing any songs or what's
3-0, just by the way, 3-0 for me.
You are?
Yeah.
I've always said you were going to be a hell of a coach. I just thought it would happen when you were 20. To see you play. Strong effort. They had some pushback in the third, but we bounced back well when we needed to. As you can see, guys, the intensity is starting to ramp up as we get closer and closer to regular season. The games are going to be tougher. Guess what? That's a normal North game. So you better get used to it. If you haven't figured it out yet, if you can't compete or won't compete, you're not going to have success. It's very simple. You have to compete. So good job with the game, and 1:30 tomorrow practice. Thank you.